What are you 99.95% sure of? That God exists. I have a great amount of faith and spiritual experience, but the scientist in me that deals with empirical evidence looks at the 0.05% and casts doubt. For some reason, I feel like if you're 95.95% sure that God exists, there's probably not really much of a scientist in you. Not trying to be a XXX or anything, though it probably seems like I am. I never understood why science and religion can't exist together peacefully. To me, science is the how and God is the why. Because faith-based social order has so far resulted in genital mutilation, crusades, fatwa, jihad, religiously approved genocide, protected child molesters, child brides, the claim that condoms increase the risk of contracting HIV, many more cases of the organized religions of the world committing atrocities and getting away with it. Everybody needs to be held equally accountable or the system will end in revolution. And really, the Western world as whole is beginning to be too educated to continue to claim and believe. It's the perpetuation of animosity and hate between religions that fuels the conflict in the Middle East. We need to get rid of this immoral filth, religion, so we can become civilized. That I'm actually me. Since I have a twin sister, it's entirely possible one of my parents mucked it all up at one point and I could be her, and she could be me. I could be an imposter and not even know it. Damn. That's an aspect of having twin babies I never thought of. What if you put them both in a pack and play in diapers and turn around? Or you drop them off at daycare and your S/O picks them up. They ask you if Beth was wearing blue and you say I think so. But it's been a busy 8 hours at work. We were dressed in blue for Bridget and pink for my sister, whose name starts with a P, except kids take their clothes off a lot. My mom insists she could tell by our cheers and ears, but who the hell knows? I'd like to note that I now tend to wear a lot of pink and my sister wears a lot of blue. I noticed it a few years ago, and I think it's hilarious. I'd just write your name on you somewhere when you came out. You'd think by now hospitals would have tattoo artists on call for twin newborns. Pretty sure there's no one at the top really controlling everything, just a bunch of opportunists XXX up for everyone else. But their goal isn't to XXX up. It's to get more money and satisfy their greed. It just so happens that the easiest way to do that generally happens to be the way that XXX up for the rest of us. Or at least, that's what I think. People aren't against you. They are for themselves. Exactly. Instead of more money and greed, what if I just find I can make things happen just because I've built up massive wealth? What if I just didn't like my neighbor's tree and I have tons of money? The initial thought of I can't do that vs I can afford to cut it down, pay for litigation and still be rich as XXX makes me stupid powerful. Just because I don't like something you realize you can do anything at little cost and still sleep at night XXX everyone else. Yep, there is no secret boardroom. The evil is money pushing people to do bad things. And when they see others do bad things they feel justified in also doing bad things. And so we spiral down until something snaps. Not a boardroom, a lodge. All of the people in the 0.01% probably don't get together and plot. But I'm 99.5% sure there is a couple of them that get together and stuff with their money/influence. See, Rockefeller and Rothschild. Well yeah. People make friends with who they work with usually. Most billionaires work with other billionaires at some point. And if you had a yacht or a lodge somewhere, wouldn't you invite your friends over? It's a really normal series of events that leads to exclusivity. I wouldn't put an oligopoly down to a couple of mates meeting for lunch. No, but it is a country club where one table is a group of your mates and the other is a group of those other guys that you can't stand but tolerate because you need to be civil. Aliens. Edit. In my humble opinion, I'm actually 100% sure that alien life exists, but we'll say 99.95% sure for the purpose of the question lol. I'm really hoping that in the next couple of decades we'll discover some kind of evidence that there was once some very simple form of life on Mars. Just some form of bacteria or something. If it can happen twice in one solar system, then who knows about how often it would happen in the universe. If it can happen twice in one solar system, then who knows about how often it would happen in the universe. Yeah, it would be pretty good evidence that life developing is really common. Which raises some pretty terrifying questions about why we appear to be alone in the galaxy. Actually, this simple blog post on the Fermi paradox kind of explains why it would be so disturbing to find evidence of life on Mars. It made me switch from hoping we will to kind of hoping we won't. Actually, that my father is not, in fact, my father. My mother was a hippie and got around, and that's putting it nicely, and I stand out in family photos by about a foot, and with very noteworthy hair differences and facial features that I don't share with the rest of the family. So what you're saying is if you asked a random guy on the street you could say with 99.95% certainty they banged your mom? More that if I did a paternity test there would only be a 0.05% chance he's actually my father. Your dad is a cuck. That antibacterial soap kills 99.95% of germs. What I'm 99.95% sure is that normal soap does the same thing. Antibacterial soap is just a marketing thing. Never heard of antibacterial soap. Like, what is normal soap supposed to be then? It just cleans the bacteria up a bit, like checking into rehab does to celebrities. It's just a marketing trick, but kind of a brilliant one. Announce the purpose of your item and the product name. New hunger eliminating cornflakes. Oh wow, why did I never get these before? I want my cornflakes to make me not hungry. New burglar preventing front doors. That's so much better. I'm so sick of burglars being able to pass through my existing front door. Aliens exist. Not the bacteria on another hospitable planet kind, but more the intelligent life that traveled to our system and is watching us. I think some of the sightings and videos online, albeit a small percentage, are real but due to anyone with Photoshop and a computer can make fake video/photos they get lost in the shuffle. Why are they watching us? Study us or for other reasons? Granted I have zero proof and everything I've seen, which isn't much, that is questionable I could explain without resorting to saying it aliens. Lights in the sky ECT. I would like to one day hopefully encounter something that makes no sense and I can't explain to reinforce the theory, but that may never happen. That there is sentient life in our universe, and that we are not alone. I'm 99.95% sure God exists. There is room for doubt within any worldview, and for a Christian, I think doubt can be seen as a virtue. It causes reflection, meditation, and study. I can't look at the universe from a reductionist standpoint and not conclude that something is eternal. I can't look at the anecdotal evidence in my own life and years of study and deny the countless string of coincidences which have woven together my worldview. Still, I do often ponder the 0.05%. What if he doesn't exist? Am I wasting my Sunday mornings? No, I enjoy the community with other people and the reason to get out of bed. Am I wasting my money? No, my church is active in our community. They help an orphanage in India. They are less wasteful than most secular charities I know of. I'm sure this will get downvoted to oblivion, but I live my life based on my surety. I try to make the world a better place than I left it, and I try to be genuine, even though I often fail. Aliens exist and have been here. I'm not all big hair and spread hands about it, and I have bothered to look into exactly how easily ancient aliens crap theories are disproven. I'm sure most UFOs and USOs are government works that just haven't been publicized yet, but not all. Like, the world is too big for there to just be us, and has existed for too long for other sentient folks to have not become far more advanced than us, far more quickly than us. There are too many sightings, weird happenings, and folks' experiences for me to think it hasn't happened at some point. Have they drastically shaped humanity? Doubt it. But they probably stopped by, saw us, and decided we weren't worth much further interest or something. Everyone always assumes aliens would only come here to take our resources or something really bad. I don't know. I like to think that the more civilized and intelligent species are, the less barbaric they become. I like to think that folks advanced enough to visit mostly unnoticed would do so for research purposes. Like, oh look, these critters only exist on one planet. Maybe we are protected as some kind of nature preserve to them, or maybe we aren't even unique enough to care about. Maybe they are waiting for us to catch up, so we are worth trading or communicating with. Or hell, maybe I'm wrong and they haven't bothered visiting yet. Man. But I'm pretty sure they have, and I like to think they wouldn't destroy us if they ever do, but haven't yet. But who knows? I'm 99.95% sure that the sun is actually a bluish green color and it's the light refracting off of the Earth's atmosphere that makes it look yellow. I'm just as sure that is also why the sky is blue. I thought the sun was white. It's been pigeonholed as white due to the fact that we are seriously close to this cosmic light bulb. Freeze frame a wide high-res, normal spectrum, from space, shot of the sun and the outer edges of the light is blue/green. Edit, normal spectrum means that the image is human normal, not Earth atmo normal. There's a difference. My birth date. Technically, we all have to accept what our parents say it is, and a piece of paper that says so. That I was born today. There is a 0.05% chance I was mixed with another baby in the hospital, so it could have been yesterday or tomorrow. My town has hundreds of deer. I know because they eat everything in my father's garden and leave behind drowned poops. But you never see them during the day and I live pretty far from any wooded areas. I'm 99% sure they own property and simply never go outside. All those foreclosed, unkept homes that you think are empty with no cars in the driveway. Yep. Dear. I estimate they share one house per 4 families. And their funding comes from car insurance companies. They're all in cahoots. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. 99.95% sure time is a man-made construct, and that life is meaningless. It's just that we apply meaning to everything in our lives. That the mushrooms I just picked and ate are perfectly fine and edible.